Avrona is a commentary and tech review channel who made some videos on peaches that were generally really bad, but today I'd like to discuss Avrona and how incapable he is of taking any criticism at all when it's levied against him, opting instead to claim that criticism is attacks and has no evidence, and a lot of the times just claiming that the people who are giving him criticism are attacking him or making it up or a lot of other stupid stuff. But today I want to go through one of his videos in particular and clearly point out every single thing that's wrong with it, because there's a lot that's wrong with it. And I'd also like to just clarify on a lot of the points that he makes, disprove them, and correct all the information that Avrona spreads. This video already has a negative like to dislike ratio though, so it's pretty obvious that most people understand this. I just feel like it's quite important to give Avrona criticism, as they very clearly don't understand what the criticism is, or are being intentionally ignorant to the claims made against them, or doing it to troll, which I highly doubt. However, before I begin, if you're new to the channel or haven't already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, as I make videos every single day on various different topics, from drama to anime reviews to all of that good stuff. So if you want to go check out my channel, that support would mean a lot. You can turn on notifications, you can click the big red button, and feel free to check out all my other social media down below. With that out of the way, let's get into this video, and I'd like to start with a little clip from the end of Avrona's video, because I'd like to address some of his points and very clearly clarify on a lot of things so that Avrona very well knows exactly what the criticism of him is, so that he can improve if he intends to.
If I've done so many bad things here, why is it so hard for people to actually explain what that bad thing is? If there's so many screenshots of my terrible behavior or whatever else, then why has no one been able to explain why that behavior is terrible and not just some random screenshots? Why is it that all of a sudden it's not okay for me to ask for advice and all?
Okay, seeing as you don't understand the criticism levied against you, Avrona, I'd like to give you some pointers that I've written down for you, and hopefully you can take these on board. These are very clearly spelled out, so I hope they're understandable. Your thumbnails are uninspired and poorly produced, and for some reason they have these weird, disgusting looking outer glows. These thumbnails could be improved by simplifying them and simply having yourself in front of the blurred background of your room with the item on screen in an image or anything like that shown in clear display on the screen if you're not confident on your thumbnail design. Your script writing is lazy, resulting in uninspired and uninteresting videos that tend to repeat themselves, trail off at times, and lack focus, with a lot of repeating, a lot of outtakes, and a lot of mistakes, which could be improved if you watched other people's videos, found some more fancier words to spice up your language, and did more research into your topics to fill your videos with more information or opinions so it doesn't feel like you're often repeating yourself. You have poor audio editing, resulting in a lot of stutters, breathing, outtakes, and background noise to appear in certain parts of your videos, which take away from the central focus. Remember, audio is key in keeping your listeners entertained. Poor visual editing, resulting in moments like this where you didn't take the time to properly go over and edit your video, causing a random clip you didn't intend to be left in the video, probably resulting in a lot of people clicking off the video. Also, with the lack of transitions, blurs, visual effects, or anything else to keep your viewer entertained visually, people are likely to not watch you. Weak delivery of your lines. You often fail to deliver your lines with confidence or clearly, causing them to come out very slurred, unenthusiastic, or generally quite boring and bland, leaving a lack of substance in your videos. Again, audio is king. A lack of interest in your content, as shown in your DMs with Peaches, where you show you really only care about making content for the influence, when you have no actual care for good content or your audience, and as such, you aren't making good content. A lack of understanding for what to prioritize with content, and instead opting to improve the level of production quality in your video, choosing to buy more expensive equipment out of belief that it will mean you'll do better, which simply isn't how it works. People enjoy content if it's entertaining over how it sounds, looks, or is presented. Take it from me, I learned that myself. You also lack any clear ability to take criticism, instead opting to respond with simple responses like what, or claiming that you think your content is good, which is a ridiculous way to ignore any actual criticism just because you think your content is good, which doesn't mean the audience does. Take their criticism and learn from it, no matter how harsh it may come across. You also show a resistance to holding yourself accountable, opting to die on any hill you come across instead of actually acknowledging criticism thrown against you and trying to take it on board whether you agree with it or not. If your thumbnails aren't interesting or look clickable, people won't click them. It's why clickbait is so prevalent in YouTube. It's not about the tags, it's about getting more people to click on your video. If your thumbnails are appealing or eye-popping, eye-candy, more people are likely to click on them, and as such, your videos are likely to do better, which is why a lot of YouTubers like KSI do clickbait, because if more people click on the video, on average, that video performs better, gets fed to the algorithm more. That's simply how YouTube works. And whether you agree with this criticism or not, it's still criticism. And obviously you don't have to take criticism, but you keep asking for people to give you advice, but whenever people actually give you criticism, you don't take it. So I'd like to spell it out for you very clearly, and I hope those previous pointers can help you, and if you'd like more, obviously you can speak to me in private. Now, let's get into your video.
She really confused me about her first point in this whole situation surrounding me and Peaches. And that's to do with a video released by someone called Kai, who is also involved in this whole drama, who criticized quite a few things about how Peaches handled the situation with me.
Peaches, you can't exaggerate a story about somebody else for comedy, especially if the person you're exaggerating isn't laughing with you. That's where Avrona's problem lies. You also can't call him things like the craziest small YouTuber when the guy is anything but crazy, and also doesn't appreciate you calling him that. If you didn't think he's a bad guy, then maybe not title your video this. Not only that, but despite making it a point to not mention his name in your video, you still put his name in the tags, as well as Big Joel's name, meaning anyone can find out who this video is about if they look hard enough, including me.
Kai mentioned in his video that this title was out of line, and that is one of the most bizarre claims I think I've ever heard about Peaches. Hyperbole and eye-catching titles are the norm on YouTube, and to pretend that it's a moral failing on Peaches' part in some way to title the video as such is just reaching.
I'm really having an issue here trying to figure out how you can't see this as an issue when she's talking about an actual other creator on the platform. If she did a video that's titled something like the craziest graphics tablet I have ever seen, no one would care. Literally, no one would care she titled her video that. It's just YouTube, it's what we have to do if you want to survive on here. But you're really telling me there's like no difference between her, having a title like that for some inanimate object and another YouTuber who's actually on the platform.
Okay, this is an insane straw man to try and change the point to look like he won an argument and to evade a criticism. The point wasn't Peach's thumbnail or title was the same or better than if it was about an inanimate object. The point made by Mally was that there was nothing wrong with the title as it's the norm on YouTube. You've changed her point and strawmanned it to be something completely different for the sake of evading the argument she's making. You seem to be following in the great footsteps of a certain prison mate, if you ask me.
But then I watched Big Joel's video, and besides generally just really enjoying it, I realized that this was also a stupid take. Avrona was thrilled when Big Joel made a video about him, naming him and criticizing him for the exact same behaviors that Peaches did, albeit in a more constructive, deep dive style. But somehow, Peaches' video was out of line.
A few seconds later, you say this.
So I watched some more of Avrona's videos, specifically any that had to do with drama, Peaches and Big Joel included.
So if you watch my videos regarding Big Joel, then didn't you miss the video I did where I went on for a really long time criticizing that video that Big Joel made and nitpicking everything that's wrong about it and things I didn't like about it? Yes, I admit I was very happy when Big Joel made a video about me, sue me. Even though back then I had some big issues with some of the content of the video, I just ignored it because I was just happy that my channel could be finally getting somewhere. In fact, I literally covered all of that in that 1 year on from Big Joel video. I talked about how I may have been a bit carried away over the excitement of having that video made about me at the start, but that doesn't mean I did not have problems with it, and in the end I did provide my due criticism towards that video.
But if you thank Big Joel for his video, and never went after him for his, why is it so different that when Peaches said the exact same things, you put her on blast and started saying that she was out of line with it? How did she do anything worse than Big Joel? And if so, why are you acting differently between the two for making the same points? It's a bit of a very uneven way of judging it. Because Big Joel looked at you in a more positive light, and because Peaches looked at you in a more negative light, Peaches isn't allowed to make the same points. It's a really, really ignorant mindset.
And I realized something pretty quickly. Oh, Peaches was spot on about this guy. I'm sorry, but she was.
Evidence pending, I assume?
Firstly, drop the attitude. Secondly, it's Malice's opinion. Thirdly, she clarifies when she goes further through the video with making all her follow-up points. So I don't really know what this whole evidence pending, I presume, bit was, unless you were just trying to be sassy or look like you were winning the argument.
And despite her claims being dramatized for entertainment, they still fell in line with what everyone else had to say about Avrona and what the screenshots of his behavior in a Discord group and forums displayed. You see all this? You see these mountains of screenshots I have scrolling around here? Yeah, those are all from a cursory glance at Avrona's Reddit, where people have compiled whole lists documenting all the times he's asked the same questions and rebutted 90% of the critique and advice he gets.
I like how she just presents those floating screenshots while over-exaggerating about the content, while not actually explaining why any of it is bad or somehow evidence against me.
Seriously? Instead of addressing every screenshot she showed that has actual substance, as I've already used 2 of them in the intro of this video, you decide to just say that it's all just blown up by malice, and then you just skip over it like it's just not relevant anymore. What?
She then has this little cartoon trying to explain the situation further.
Down for you, the pattern goes like this. Avrona asks, "What can I do to X, Y, or Z?" Someone replies, "Well, have you tried this?" Avrona then responds that either he's been doing that for years and cannot improve, that it doesn't matter to the algorithm and is otherwise useless to him, or he asks why. If he asks why, they will answer, "Well, because of XYZ." And then he asks, "Why?" They answer, "Well, because of XYZ." And then he asks, "Why? And why? And why? And why? And can you feel my sanity thinning? Can you feel my patience
spooling out as the thread is lost to the twisting curling abyss that is this entire Reddit page? Can you see why maybe, just maybe, this man inspired the deeply ingrained rage-filled obsession that
And not only does it go on for kind of way too long, she doesn't really provide any additional info on why exactly any of this is still bad.
Dude, do you want to know why it's bad? I mean, she's already spelled it out for you, but I'll explain. It's bad because your content is bad and you continue to parade around acting like it's good and crying about how your videos aren't performing, and then when people give you constructive criticism, you just reply with why. You won't improve that way, and if you want to improve, stop replying with why and instead take on board what people are saying. That's what's bad with it, because you don't listen to any of the criticism. Also, I think the bit was great, Mally. Don't worry about it.
If I'm such a bad person and if what I was doing was so wrong, then you shouldn't have much of an issue explaining exactly what's so bad about it, right?
She didn't, I didn't, and I think that's where I'm done giving you my time, as you're continuing to now play the victim and pretending that we're saying that you're doing anything that bad, when in reality it's just criticism that's being levied against you, dude. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. That support would mean a lot to me. Just checking to see if you are subscribed, because YouTube sometimes unsubscribes you, would be really appreciated. Thank you a lot. I also have my other social media in the description, so if you want to support me on those platforms, that would also be really cool. With that out of the way, hope you have enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.